I don't believe for a minute that life will be extinguished. Even though we've radically altered the air, the water, and the soil of the earth, life has been incredibly tenacious and adaptable. But as a species at the very top of the food chain, I know that we're the most vulnerable. Life has existed on Earth for 3.8 to 4 billion years. Over that time, there have been a lot of species. But you know what? 99.9999, 4 decimal points, % of all species that have ever existed are extinct. So extinction is a natural part of life. Extinction is what has enabled life to flourish and evolve and change with the conditions of the changing planet. The planet hasn't been stuck in one condition over 4 billion years. The tragedy of our existence is that we're an infant species. Not only are we hastening the conditions for our own demise, we're taking down, according to the United Nations Environment Program, 50 to 55,000 species a year are going extinct because of us. The tragedy is not the imminent or potential extinction of humankind, but the enormous extinction crisis that we're causing right now.
Our planet is becoming a place that is increasingly more difficult for its species to survive on. Humans' effect on Earth is removing the ability for life to exist or to even adapt to the changes we're making. We're destroying what life needs: its environment, its food, its water, itself. David Suzuki has told us that extinction has occurred throughout history as a natural process that has actually benefited life. But currently, it is almost always a result of manufactured, gigantic human interference and destruction. This is visible just by looking at the species currently at threat and their environments. 2.4 acres of the world's forests are destroyed every second. Scientists, environmentalists, and world conservation organizations, among others, all are understanding this, and it's becoming increasingly clear. As global temperatures are rising, the IUCN has stated that 3.5 degrees Celsius more would threaten roughly 75% of the world's species with extinction. This isn't natural, this isn't what you could even call helpful at all. This is exactly why this is being called a crisis. Countless habitats are disappearing at our fault. The ice caps are shrinking as pollution speeds up with climate change. Water bodies are filled with runoff from our fields, gardens, roads, and waste sewers, among countless other things, as accidents happen and we treat them like a garbage bin. Meadows are being built over forests and jungles, becoming smaller and smaller. Polluted waters and dead zones where species can no longer live are appearing across the world from our pollution. Lakes and entire seas are actually shrinking and disappearing as usage and the amount of droughts are rising. A huge amount of animals are going extinct, or at least coming very close to it, and it's nothing natural. There are 50 to 100 elephants being murdered every single day, mostly for the illegal ivory trade, and this is coming specifically from experts gathered at the CITES meeting to target the extinction crisis. The IUCN Red List is building, and we also know from the IUCN that 1/8 of bird species, 1/4 of mammal species, 1/4 of conifer species, 1/3 of amphibian species, and 6 out of 7 marine turtles are threatened with extinction. Fish are also predicted to be going extinct in roughly 20 years. This is an insane thing to think about, that such an important and vital animal could even be expected to be going extinct so soon. Something so vital and important to our planet and us. Diversity is plummeting alarmingly as different variations of countless animals are going extinct. The Cape lion we lost years ago, and only 4 northern white rhinos are left on the planet after most of the species has been slaughtered by poachers for the illegal ivory trade. Who would have thought that white rhinos would need a bodyguard? In Canada, all bears no longer roam beyond mostly mountainous areas. as they have been extirpated from meadows and fields. They can no longer survive there. The United Nations have released a few of the countless examples where a beautiful and extensively diverse area was destroyed by humans. In Madagascar, there were 12,000 plant species and probably around 190,000 animal species, about 60% endemic, existing nowhere else on Earth. With already over 93% of the original forest destroyed, scientists estimate most of those species no longer exist, or are on their way to that. Lake Malawi in Central Asia holds over 500 species of cichlids existing especially in that area. This lake is only 1/8 the size of North America's Great Lakes. It holds hundreds more purely unique species. This outstanding area is now being maliciously destructed by pollution from industrial additions and introduction of alien species. Western Ecuador is recognized to once have had 8,000 to 10,000 plant species, some 40 to 60% existing nowhere else. There are 10 to 30 animal species for every one plant species in similar areas. Western Ecuador must have held over 200,000 species. Since 1960, however, almost all the forest has been replaced with banana plantations, human settlement, and oil wells before we even had a chance to understand the diversity there. Brazil is an area classified by the UNESCO as an area of international importance. The Pantanal area alone is 110,000 kilometers of possibly the most extensive and richest wetlands in the world, housing the most diversified species of waterfowl in South America. South America contains some of the world's most species diversity. New species are being discovered constantly, yet as we discover them, their populations are already at threat. Agricultural development, dam construction, and countless other industrial processes are bringing an end to the life of these animals. But this crisis, it's not something beyond our help. We have the power to stop it at this point. We're distracted by daily things like cars and vacations and mortgages. We just aren't thinking about what's going on. It's not something we want to think about. It's scary, but we need people to understand, because if people start caring, then that will alone generate change that we need. We need people who just support options like different housing and different jobs, different ways of feeding ourselves and different ways of creating products, and we need more laws to be put in place to help protect these species and to help protect these environments. We need political attention directed specifically for what's going on. But the thing is, we need more than just laws. We need people to care to follow them. We need people to care to go beyond following those laws and to find an actual solution for all the problems we're creating. It's important we as humans on this planet make a conscious choice on what we do and what we support.